Hey, everybody. It's A-Train, and you're listening to True Crime Undercover. Well, hey, Super E, how the heck are you?
Doing good. Would you like to hear a tale?
I would love to hear a tale.
Okay. I'm going to talk about many moons ago, almost 40 years ago, when I was in uniform. And I was having run-ins with DUI Donnie.
Okay.
Donnie was, well, to me, being 23 or 24 at the time, he was like in his mid-30s, so he was like ancient. But he was a grizzled old booze hound.
All right.
And he would always drive home like 3 in the morning from wherever. And he had like a sweet 71 Ford Fairlane Torino with a 351.
Nice.
And he would always I'd be sitting there at like 34th and Clifton. There's like a 4-way stop. And you'd just be walking, nothing to do at 3 in the morning, just sitting there. All of a sudden, here comes the Torino come flying by. And he'd be like, that son of a bitch. I think he's drunk again. And then he'd get behind him, try to chase him down. And he'd always get to his house first. And then he would be gone. And you'd be like, where did that son of a bitch go? And he'd be like, I'll get you later, DUI Donnie, you son of a bitch. So one time I'm just driving along and here he comes at me with the brights on. I'm like, shit, this guy's going to hit me. And then he made a quick right. And I go, that's a dumbass DUI Donnie. And I get in right behind him. He makes a couple of quick turns and he's out of the car running towards his house. And then I get out and I could just see the back of the guy running. So I'm not for sure it's him, but I'm pretty sure it's him. And he runs up and just boots his front door open to his mom's house, of course. And so I was like, well, I think it's Donnie, but if it's not Donnie, somebody's just broke into this old lady's house. I got to double check. Hot pursuit. And I go running in the house. Nobody's there. And so I go looking around, then I go upstairs. And, where he at? Dumbass Donnie. And then I open up, the house was like built in the 1920s, big, huge houses. Yeah. And it's it has them closets where it's got 2 big doors on it and you open them at the same time.
All right.
I open up the closet and of course I can smell the Thunderbird pouring out of his pores.
Yes.
But he's hiding behind the clothes. And I go, I can smell you. And he comes flying out of the clothes hanging up and throws a straight right at me. Oh. And luckily I was able to slip it. And I countered by punching him dead in the chest.
Okay.
And he falls back into the clothes. And I'm pretty proud of myself.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of comes out of the clothes, stands up, and he kind of just dusted himself off. And you looked at me and said, is that all you got? I was like, damn it. I was like hurtful.
Yes.
I was like, Donnie, you son of a bitch. I said, listen, because this is when you had discretion back then.
Yes.
You didn't have body cams, discretion.
Right.
We've been dealing with this idiot. He was kind of like, a family member. And it's like, I told you once before, dumbass, not to be doing this shit. This is your last chance.
Yeah, he's like drunk Uncle Donnie. Yeah,
drunk Uncle Donnie.
Yeah.
And I said, you keep this, and I'm going to tell your mom you're the one who put that big footprint in the door. And so, you just leave. Then you just tell everybody, yeah, dumbass DUI Donnie was at it again. I didn't catch him. So 3 weeks go by. Again, minding my own business now. It's about 4 in the morning. Man, I could hear the 4-barrel of his car kicking in. I can't see him, but I can hear it.
Yeah.
And now I'm near a street, so I just wait on him. And he comes flying in, and then he sees me at the last second. And he jumps out, and I jump out, and I'm chasing him, and he knows he doesn't have time to kick in the front door. And so he runs around to the back of the house. I run around to the back of the house. I mean, I'm just like maybe 2 seconds behind him, completely gone. I'm like, where's that son of a bitch? Where did he go, man? And so then I walk around to the front of the house, and I'm looking around, and I'm looking to the north, and I'm going, I don't see him. You're not anywhere near there. Then I turned around and took a step forward to look again behind me. So I turn around, and I feel something just kind of whoosh And then I feel like, like somebody's right behind me, and then I could smell the overwhelming odor of Thunderbird. That's a type of cheap booze.
Oh, yeah.
And so I immediately spin around, and there's DUI Donnie standing right there. He's looking at me, but he's not looking at me because it's like he's preoccupied, because then he screams a blood-curdling scream. And I don't know what's going on, so I take my palm, I do a palm strike to his chest again, but to get him away from me.
Right.
And then he starts kind of falling back, but he's not falling over. He's just walking backwards like Frankenstein in reverse. Okay. He's losing his balance as he's going. And then I see, oh shit, he's walking backwards towards the cellar steps that go down to the cellar door. And I go, hang on, Donnie. And as he's getting to the steps, I reach out and grab his shirt. And I try to hold him up, and the buttons break off in my hand, and he goes flop, 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 down the steps. And I'm like, oh my God, DUI Donnie's dead at the bottom of the steps. So I grab him, pick him up, and basically kind of put him over my shoulder. And he goes, Gonzalez, I'm in pain. I go, well, he just fell down the steps, dumb. And I'm picking him. I'm, get on the radio.
Yeah.
Start me an ambulance. What's his problem? He's screaming. He's in pain. That's all I know now. So I take him up, and I get him down, and he's putting his arm around it, and I'm walking him towards where my police car is. Now, DUI Donnie was one of those people, when he got really drunk, he was meaner than shit. Mm-hmm. As you could tell by his very insulting comment about, is that all you got?
Exactly.
So, anyways, I'm kind of helping him. Well, I said, we need to get you to the sidewalk. And he's going, oh! And then here comes a backup officer. His name was Houston. And he was like in his early 40s, but he was a great athlete. He was a track star. I mean, he would compete in I guess they called it senior division or whatever it was. Okay. But he was a sprinter.
Okay.
And DUI Donnie decided to look right at Houston, and for whatever reason, got real angry, kind of pushed me away, stood up, and called Houston the N-word, because Houston was a black officer. Okay. So was Donnie. Okay. But that didn't take anything away from the insult to Houston. Yes. And then he throws a weak looping right hand at Houston, who just ducked under it, and DUI Donnie lands on his shoulders. So he's laying on Houston's shoulders, like Houston's squatting him. Yeah. Houston has squatted down, and then he shot up and pushed Donnie up. So Donnie goes flying through the air, lands on the hood of my police car, and bounces off and starts screaming again. And then I'm like, Donnie, you okay? He goes, yes. I go, then I said, where did you go when I chased you around the house? He goes, I got up on the roof. I go, how'd you get on the roof? He goes, I just jumped up where the gutter thing was and then pulled myself up. Wow. And then I go, what were you doing up on the roof? He goes, well, I was watching you. And then when you were in front of the house, I was going to jump down on you. And I go, why was you going to do that? He goes, seemed like a good idea. Oh, my God. I was like, okay, Mannix. And jeez. He goes, right when I was jumping down on you, you turned around to look the other way, and I landed right behind you. And I go, yeah, I remember that part. And he goes, right when I landed behind you, I felt my right leg snap. I go, oh my. I go, you mean your leg was broken? And he goes, yeah. And then when he turned around and you did you pushed me away, and I started walking backwards, I fell down the steps. And he goes, that didn't make my leg feel any better. Oh, I'm like, oh my God. Oh, God. I go, well, what did it feel like when you threw a punch at Houston and then ended up flying over my car? He goes, well, that really felt bad. I said, oh, Jesus. Oh,
Donnie needs to stay away from the booze, man.
Oh, yeah. Him and Thunderbird didn't mix. And then it started pouring down, raining. And so we're all down there, rain everywhere. Ambulance gets there, and they go, he's just standing there. They go, what's wrong with him? He's got a broken right leg, and he's standing on it. Yeah, this guy, he's full of Thunderbird. I don't think he feels much of anything now. But away he went, and then a month later, I see him. He's not driving drunk, but this is the way it was back then.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, Officer Gonzalez, how's it going? Hey, DUI Donnie, hope you're doing better." And that was the end of it.
It sounds like when he got some of that stuff in him, he was a hell of an athlete, jumping on roofs and.
Yes, and when he told me that, even when it was raining, I went back to behind that house, and I'm like, "How in hell did he get up on that damn roof?"
You think he really did? You think he was telling the truth?
Well, I think he did because.
It was like he just disappeared, right?
Yeah, he just disappeared. And then when I felt the whoosh right behind me, I said, "Yeah, that makes sense. Somebody jumping off the roof and landed right behind you."
You know, the only thing that would make this story funnier is if he actually had jumped on your back from the roof.
Oh, no, that probably would have killed me.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, DUI Donnie.
Oh, God love him.
We all knew people like him. They just go by different names.
Yes.
all have that same problem. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. They sure do.
Good Lord. Wow. Well, okay. That was good stuff. And yeah, that's you're talking about policing back in a different time.
Different time where there was discretion. And it's like you knew the people that you worked with and helped.
Yeah.
Or you basically served them. You got to know them and everything like that. So
yeah, exactly.
It was just a different time we'll never have again because they fuck everything up with their So, anyways,
they're new age policing, which isn't much.
Yeah.
I was never a big DUI guy. For some reason, this is the only thing that sticks out in my head. I stopped some dude, and I asked, the car didn't come back to him. I said, "Well, whose car is this?" And he goes, "Well, it's my uncle's." I said, "Well, what's your uncle's name?" And he goes, "Uncle Uterus." And I go, I'm sorry, what? Yeah. I said, "What's your uncle's name?" "Uncle Uterus."
Oh my God.
I don't know why that just popped in my head. Anyway, yeah, he was out driving Uncle Uterus's car, getting all drunk, getting that stuff in him. Okay. Well, listen, the DUI Donnie story was fantastic.
All right, everybody, have a good Thanksgiving.
All right. Sounds great. See ya.
All right.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.